This time I'm heading out with the canoe and my 2 Border Collies. We're aiming for an island, and I have an idea of see northern light in the lake in combination with my tent. So we will see if I succeed with that. Anyway, the weather forecast is okay. It's end of October and it have been some really chilly nights before. It can come ice any time of the lakes now, but it shouldn't come really yet because I'm going with the canoe. I have a hot tent with me and I have wood stove, so I will have a cozy time inside my tent, hopefully inside the canoe also, but we will see. My name is Matti. I'm working as a dog musher and nature guide up in northern Sweden. Together with my partner Stina, I run a small guide company, and we also make these YouTube videos. Outdoor life is actually what we're doing for a living. I think we got a little bit too much ice here, and I can go outside it, but if I fall into the water, if something happens, it's really difficult to come back to the land through the ice, and the water is kind of cold now. So I don't really know what to do right now. It was actually more ice than I expect here. Yeah. See, it's too much ice here. Beautiful, very beautiful. Anyway, yeah, let's paddle another way. It's actually a lot of ice more or less everywhere, and it's ice close to the land, as you see here, so it's difficult to reach the land. I don't like to be here alone and suddenly the canoe go up on the ice and then it's super unstable, and I have 2 dogs with me, and if you had to swim through this ice, it's super cold water, and I don't have the ice things that I usually have when I go on ice. So the ice is super slippery, so if you're falling you have to crash through the whole ice. So instead of taking that risk, I turn around and go back up along a small river and see if I can find if it's no ice there. But there is more current and the water moving, and it's probably less ice and better. So let's go there and see. I just find a good camp spot close to the river, and we have tons of firewood here, and it's dry and close to the river. It's super beautiful, and the sun is setting down, so I feel a little bit in a hurry that I want to put up my tent now, and yeah, I'm also hungry, really hungry, but I think I just start the work. Yeah, the dogs are busy to check the camp spot, they're smelling around, and it is elks here, it is brown bear, it is red fox, beaver in the river, otter, and yeah, I just usually you don't see things when you are like this, and especially when I'm talking with the camera, and then animals take off. Also when I have the dogs, animals don't come here. There is no animals here that you need to be afraid of anyway. When you're putting up a stove like this, a wood stove, it's really good to have gloves. And the ones I use right now is kind of from Blueware. Stina told me during 15 years that I should try them, and I listened to her, so now I tried this stove, chimney, spark arrestor, yeah. This stove is a Winterwell Fast Fold UL. It's a fast fold, you see. It's so fast to put up like this. It's a titanium stove, and this stove with the chimney is 1 kilogram. When you have used it for a while and it has been hot and so on, it's a little bit, yeah, you see how it is. But that's just normal. Put it down, put them like that. And this one you can close it, and you can open and close the air here. So, the stove. And now when I paddle and I can have some weight with me, I also carry one of these, or this is actually half one of this silicone ground sheet something. So that's really, really good to put under the stove. Then we have this, the chimney and the pipe, and you probably have seen them. They are really nice. If you haven't seen them yet, you should take a look at them. You need a couple of rings like this. These pipes are rolled this way for transportation, but now when I'm going to use it, I have to roll it the other way. I'm going to show you. And this is a little bit of a tricky part. Especially the first time when you roll it, it's kind of tricky. When you have used it for a while, it's much more easier. Then you put the rings like this, spread them out. And then we put this spark arrestor here. So this one stops sparkles from coming out of the stove and making a hole in your tent fabric. When that's done, you want the pipe to come through this hole. This is I lost the name, I write it here. This is also made of silicone. It's resistant to high temperature. And then this one should come down here. Oh, into the stove. I need to find some firewood. I start getting hungry, so it's time for fire and start making dinner. till vägen. So the dogs are going to get food, they're going to get pellets, and they're a little bit bigger, as you see, and so I can put them on the ground and they can find them or search for them. I put them in a pile, and because I didn't brought a bowl for them, and Annie can eat straight out of the plastic bag, but if Johnny eat from the plastic bag, he eat the plastic bag. If you look at Johnny's nose in this video, now and then you will see he have lost the skin here, because we gave him a bone, and you know the bone was cutted, and inside the bone is fat, so he have pushed his nose into the bone to try to get out the fat from the bone, and yeah, it's I feel a little bit sorry for him. So he actually get a blizzard or something, lost the skin here. Normally when we give them food, we give them the food with water, but here we are just beside the river, so they go and drink now and then when they need water. So here they just get the dry pellets and they have the water in the river. So I just made some simple food for me. I have a frying pan, this one, an iron frying pan, and in this I'm going to fry a piece of sausage. That sausage I fried together with the whole onion, and together with one of this with mushroom, champignons, and also with some sun-dried tomatoes. On top, when that's fried, on top of that I crack 3 eggs, and yeah, that's it. This is the sun-dried tomato, see? Sun-dried tomato. When you're cooking out like this, it's super important to test the food sometimes. Good. I wanted this island with open, nice views and the sunset in the lake and the northern light over the lake later on. But now I ended up here along a small river, and it's not bad at all. I have a nice time here. It was too much ice out on the lake, and much more than I expected to be. So sometimes the canoe slide up on the ice, and when the canoe slide up on the ice, the canoe is really unstable. And with 2 dogs in the canoe, and then I don't really want to take the risk to flip. And if you flip out there in the ice, you can't swim to the land. Then you had to crash through the ice first, and that's kind of hard work. I think this is very important, that if you have a plan, what you want to do, you should not push too hard to reach it. If you see, like now, cold water, ice, bad to reach land, then it's not worth it. The consequence if you flip the canoe out there on the water is too big. This area where I am, I can't just falling into the water and start screaming, help, 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 because no one will help me. Yeah, of course, people, if they hear me, they will help me, but it's no people here. So Lapland is a place where nobody hears you screaming. It's nice when you are alone out like this, because then you can eat straight out of the frying pan. That's nice. Hej Janni! Ja, vad fin du är. It's really nice with some coffee here. I don't know why it's so nice with coffee and tea, but it's probably because it's warm and it's kind of relaxing feeling to sit here and sipping on the coffee close to the fire. Yeah. Look at the dog. He starts steering into the dark forest behind me, and he doesn't look super happy. You can see a light somewhere. There, you see the light? That's the moon. That's on the way up. So it's more or less full moon right now. To find their bed. So you see, when you have this iron pan without this kind of Teflon or non-stick thing, you can put sand straight into the pot and rub the sand on the iron like this and get rid of all the burned things in the bottom of the pan, if there is something burned or if there is something. Then you use a piece of spruce needles, because they are a little bit, they are containing you know what they contain. That is taking away some of the fat. Turpentine. They contain turpentine. Yeah. It's really warm and cozy inside here. Sitting here having tea and the dogs are just resting here. It's so nice. Just a while ago, it was really something that was splashing around in the water. I don't know, I think it was a beaver, or it could have been also kind of fish, but the pikes are not really active in the night, so then it should have been trout maybe. And now over there behind me I hear some whooper swan or singing swan. Here. This tent called Nortent Vern 2, and I think this is a perfect solo tent. Really perfect solo tent if you have a stove inside. And so I have just a ground sheet, a floor, from the middle of the tent and towards one side. And on the other side I just have the ground, and I have this silicone thing under the stove, and then the stove. This tent have 4 doors. It's 2 doors, 1 door, 2 door, and then same on that side. So this is really good, because if I want the dogs to go out, I can just open one of these doors, so the dogs don't need to pass by the stove. This tent comes now as a Vern 3, and as a 3-person tent it's maybe better for 2-person. It maybe works for 2-person. We could have fit 2-person in this 2 and 2 dogs. It had worked, but it's a really spacey, nice solo tent. Solo luxury hot tent for a wilderness guide with a lot of camera gear. But I also have a lot of gears now that I don't need. I just bring a lot of gears that for filming also. So I'm going to show you some things I brought. Back in old days, if we wanted light inside our camps, tents and so on, we didn't have these electric lamps. We had paraffin oil lamp, or we had candles. We could hang them in the tent like this, and we had to be very careful. You also get all this when you're actually burning gas, liquid petroleum stuff inside the tent, you get this shit in here. Now we have this is a Clarius Seal 2. It's a kind of heavy lamp. I'm going to use this one in the tent camp during the winter. These headlamps, when we used them back in the old days, they were big, huge, and we had to swap batteries all the time. This tiny one, with this tiny battery from Nightcore, it's much better than the lamp I had back in old days. And it stays much longer, they are much cheaper, and they are much stronger, and all that things. So, what will happen in the future? I will show you one thing. Here I got a big power bank. It's from a company called All Powers, and this model, I don't know exactly the name, I write it somewhere. But this one have 220 voltage output here, but it also have USB, normal USB things here for charging things. Maybe in the future you bring one of this and you bring one solar panel, or they are lighter in the future, because you know this is also a kind of tiny small power bank that we are using today, and they have been so much better during the last 10 years, 5 years maybe. Anyway, if you have a power bank like this, maybe you start connecting a stove to it. Instead of carry alcohol stoves, instead of carry gasoline stove, gas stoves, you carry a power bank and you carry some tiny lightweight electric stove. I don't know. I just imagination. We have this one and a bigger one at home, and we have them as a backup if something goes wrong with electric at home. We can continue working, we can continue running our water pump, and we can do that for a while. We also have a tiny solar panel for that, so we can charge them. And yeah, I can talk more about how we have solved our things back home later in another video. This big power bank I want to use for charging my drones, want to charging my all that kind of equipment, because it's actually cheaper to buy power bank instead of drone batteries, camera batteries and all that things. So then I can have this on my extended canoe tours, or I maybe bring it on the dog sled tours also, because it's not so heavy as long as you not carry it. If anyone had told us about this, the headlamps 30 years ago, I think no one have actually, we have been laughing to that. What do you think? Will we run our stoves on electric power banks with the solar panel in the future, or what will we do? So this sleeping bag is a Ukrainian one that's called Rock Frown 1000, and yeah, I talk about this in previous videos also, because I actually think it's a good sleeping bag. It's a lot of sleeping bag for the money, and it's produced in Ukraine, so if you buy it, you support the business in Ukraine. And nowadays, that's a good thing to do. Normally I'm using Western Mountaineering, and the price of them are much higher. So this is a lot of bang for the money. Now I'm tired, so I think see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Yeah, it's a new day, and I think I need coffee and a fire. So I like to keep my breakfast very simple. So I have bread, a piece of sausage from yesterday, and just some cheese. and a knife. And don't forget the coffee. I have oh, I lost coffee. I have coffee. So what you have to do is when you're hanging your sleeping bag over the tent, when you have a stove running inside, you have to make it secure it somehow so the sleeping bag is not going towards the chimney, because the chimney is hot and then the sleeping bag is melted. So the dogs are fun. Suddenly they just start barking very much, looking into the forest and coming to me. Yeah, they don't do that if it's just a tiny bird or if it's just a reindeer or something. I don't have no idea what it is. I didn't hear. What is it? This is really strange reaction of the dogs. Really strange reaction. You remember I was talking about the solar panel last evening? Now I'm going to hang it up on the tent just to see if this tiny light is enough to charging the huge power bank. I'm just curious about that. So now I have this foldable solar panel also from the company All Power. I tried to hang it up. I never used it before, and it's just interesting to see how this piece of gear works. So now I have connected with the power bank, and the sun is in that direction and the solar panel is in that direction. The sun is low, end of October, so it's not an optimal situation for this stuff. We are actually north of Arctic Circle. So anyway, I used 3% of the power bank yesterday for charging things, and yep. When I connect it, it starts charging directly, but it's charging 1 watt out of 300, I think. I don't know. But my telephone uses 6 watt now when I charge my telephone. So directly when the sun comes, this thing starts charging more, and you maybe need sun for a solar panel. I don't know. What do you think? So now I'm back on the water again, and now I follow the river downstream back to the car. I think a good reminder is to don't underestimate the short, nice tours you can do just from your home. Now I know I'm living in a super area where I just have 15k with a car, 10 kilometer with a car, and then I'm here in an area like this that you're dreaming about maybe. But I think you have also super nice areas close to where you live. Not everybody, all of you, but if you don't have areas like that you like where you live, you probably live on the wrong place. So then you should try to find a new place closer to nature. I also want to say big thanks to all of you who are watching this video. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to enjoy this moment. Everything is not about war and bad situation in the world. If we enjoy the life, we get more energy, so we can together make this world to a better world. I think so. Anyway, now I'm going home. See you in next video. Ciao.